Good afternoon, OGs. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike, and this is a video specifically about the Cronos chain and CRO. Many of you have been holding CRO for some time. Many of you have given up. Many of you have maybe cashed out. But if you've been holding since 5 cents, 5.3 cents, or wherever we were, congratulations. We are now probably a 700% increase from that low, and that is a pretty good return. Now, I'm not going to go over the exact details of the deal. I'm not going to go over the charts with CRO. I'm just going to give you my opinion on CRO and where we are today. And the reason is there are better people out there to look at the charts. There are better people out there to go through the deal with a fine tooth comb. I'm simply here to give you where I think the direction of CRO is going to go in the next 6, 12, 24 months. First of all, let's start then with the deal. There is a special vehicle created which will contain almost 7 billion CRO. A massive amount of CRO has been put to one side, and that deal has been done between Cronos and Chris and Crypto.com and of course the Trump establishment. This vehicle will stake the CRO and earn passively from it over the next several years. Now, in the AMA that Chris gave, the impromptu AMA, where he was 212ing for his life, he basically covered a lot of this off and talked about the fact that this was a long-term play. And I think that's what sets this apart from a lot of these pumps that you've seen in the market, specifically to do with coins. We've seen Sui rip, we've seen Ton rip, we've seen Hype rip. Hype's almost broken into the top 10. But this is a bit different, and that's why I want to focus on the theme and the feel of this. It's not a pump based solely on hype. There's some solid fundamentals here. The CRO coin will become the utility token of Truth Media. This further aligns Crypto.com and the Cronos chain with the Trump administration. We have 3.5 years left of the Trump administration. Crypto.com can go an awfully long way in that time. Look how far they've come since January. Look how far they've come since November last year when Trump won the election. So for me, this is a power play. This is not simply the growth of a coin based on speculation and based without foundations. This has a solid foundation. Now, I decided to make this video without a script and basically, as I said, talk from the heart on this because I think that's important. The direction of CRO for me has slightly changed. If you've watched any of my videos or seen any of my tweets over the last 12 months, when we were down at 10 and 11 cents, I was saying we should go to 60 cents. Of course, we have a brigade of $1 CRO. We also have a brigade of $2.12 CRO. And of course, the final one is $2.71 CRO. That's the final boss in this game. All of those could come to pass. And again, what I've been trying to emphasize on X over the last few days is take profits. If you've held CRO from 5 cents, take some profits. Even at 35, 40, 50 cents, wherever we go now. Just take 1% off the table so you've got some dry powder in case it retraces. However, longer term, I sincerely think that we can go in excess of $1. In the last bull run in 2021, without a Trump administration and without a pro-crypto government, we still got up towards 93, 97 cents. The candle close, I think, was at 75 cents. Now, 75 cents from 5 and 10 cents, that's a long way away. But we're at 35 cents. And I think we could challenge that by the end of the year. Now, the way I see this playing out is very simple. The hype around this move is going to subside a little bit over the next few weeks. But there's additional hype now. Chris has been silent on X for weeks. He has said nothing. In the last 24 hours, I think he is now challenging CZ in terms of the bullishness that he's got for CRO, Crypto.com, and more importantly, the Cronos chain. And that's what I want to get to next. So we've got a tick in the box for the demand for CRO. We've got a tick in the box for Chris now being active. And now we're onto the Cronos chain. Pretty much immediately after the announcement was made, Mercros announced the roadmap for the Cronos chain. And again, I'm not going to go into details. That's not what this is about. But suffice to say, we are talking about stablecoins. We are talking about DeFi. We are talking about real-world assets. We're talking about attracting new projects to the Cronos chain. Now, I reached out to a couple of projects to talk to them about what they thought about coming to the Cronos chain. The response was simple. Their roadmap is full for the rest of 2025, but Cronos chain is what they are looking at in 2026. And that's from two very sensible, reliable sources. So I think what we're going to see between now and the end of the year is a positioning of the Cronos chain for a run over the next 3 years. And that's going to be pretty exciting. We've seen a lot of projects launch on the Cronos chain in the last month, 2 months. We've seen token launches. We've seen Moonlander's token launch. We've seen Delphi trade, the predictions market. They have appeared on the Cronos chain. We have Orbi adding new collateral options. We've got a refresh of Push. We've got an all-time high for WolfSwap in terms of payout rewards for their seasons. So even before the news broke this week, the Cronos chain was starting to turn itself around. And many of you, probably over the last 2 years, haven't believed me when I have been saying all along that Cronos chain reminds me of Solana from 2 or 3 years ago now. And that's because when Solana was at $6 and $12 and $18, the builders built. The projects continued along the path. And that is exactly what I saw when I came back to the Cronos chain 18 months ago. The projects on there were still building. The WolfSwaps, the Pushes, even Obsidian Swap has come to the fore in the last few months. They all were building. Ibissus Bay was building. So there's a lot of similarities between where Solana was during the post-FTX collapse and where Cronos chain is. And that's low volume, low transactions, low users. But this is a sea change now, and that is where I think we need to draw a line in the sand. And we have pre-Cronos chain and we have post-Cronos chain. And post-Cronos chain is where all the action is going to be. And personally, I've talked a lot about conviction plays and plays on tokens that I genuinely believe in. And one of those has been CRO. And in all of the personal portfolio videos that I've made, I've always been honest and told you my percentage of CRO is 5 or 6% of my portfolio. Why? Because I think it's the best exchange and best app and best overall ecosystem. And it is better than BNB and it's better than Binance. And a lot of you aren't going to want to hear that. But the fundamentals of Crypto.com are better than of Binance, simply because of regulation, simply because of how they are approaching the markets, especially in America. And Binance has always been number one, but it doesn't mean it's always going to be number one. So my conviction has always been in Crypto.com and Cronos. And yes, you could turn around and say it's easy for me to say that now, but we've been making Cronos videos for 2 years. So let's put that one to bed. So of all of the conviction plays, this is the one that's most satisfying, because we took a decision on this channel about 12 months ago to start to make videos about a second chain outside of Solana. We were making videos about Jupiter, about Camino Finance, about Pith, lots of meme coins over on Solana, and we decided we wanted to become a multi-chain channel, and we picked Cronos because we saw through our conviction the play that was there and the similarities, as I've just said. So for me, everything about this is positive. We now have an alignment of the stars that wasn't there pre-Cronos chain. We've got Chris, Crypto.com and Cronos chain all in alignment, and that is a frightening prospect. Now, in terms of price action with CRO, I don't want to be overly pessimistic or overly bullish. But there are two clear targets in my head. 60 cents has been my bull run target for CRO. Now, again, if you're just watching this video and you don't hold any CRO and you're looking at the fact it's 35 cents and you're thinking, well, I'm not going to invest in that because it's not going to go higher than 60 cents. I'm talking about this year. I'm talking about 2025. We've got September, October, November, December left. We've got 4 months left. Now, if there's a blow off top, clearly we're going to take out 60 cents. And the next target then is the all-time high, which is 95 cents to $1. That range there is the next target for CRO. But where do we go from there? Everybody is promoting 212. And I think the romantic side of me, which does exist outside of Valentine's Day, the romantic side of me says $2.12. That's where I think the stars align. Now, maybe that is not this year. Maybe the bull run continues into next year. Again, I don't know it's going to end in November or December, but that's where the cycle normally ends. However, if we overrun January, February, March, we get more of the ETF news, we get the blue chip ETF live with the 5% allocation of CRO. If all of those things align, there is no reason we don't go to $2.12. And I would never have said that 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I would have stuck with my 60-cent target. So I think it is rosy for CRO, but take profits along the way. We are likely to see a retracement. Now, maybe the retracement is from 50 cents and then we come back down to 35. Maybe the retracement is from 60 cents and we come down to 50 cents or 45 or 40 cents or something along those lines. Maybe we come down to a price higher than it is today. But have the mindset of taking some profits along the way. Buying at 5 cents and not taking any profits at 50 cents is not good governance of your finances. And even if you're taking 1, 2, 5% off the table, do that, because the risk reward of having that on the side for a retracement, for me, outweighs missing out on us going to 90 cents, in my opinion. And if you're only taking 1 or 2 or 5% off the table, it's not going to do a massive amount of damage to your portfolio if we just keep mooning. But there hasn't been a coin that has mooned and continued to moon. There hasn't. Even Bitcoin, Ethereum, they haven't. Look at Hype. Came out of nowhere, can't break $50, keeps retracing back to $40 and $38. CRO is going to get to a natural level, and I don't think it's going to break the top 10. It's already in the top 20. I don't think it's going to break the top 10. So look at the market cap of Hype. Look at the market cap of Chainlink, and that gives you an idea of where potentially CRO can go. It's certainly not going to challenge BNB in the next few weeks, but I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but please just take some profits. Anyway, I'm not going to say any more on that matter. I just wanted to get my thoughts across. Stars are aligned. It's massively bullish for Crypto.com, CRO, and the Cronos chain. And if you've taken up some CRO positions or Moon positions over the last 12 months, congratulations. If it's been a conviction play for you as well, you are certainly a winner in this bull run. I have been Mike. You have been great. Adios.